As the second night approaches, they do their best to defend themselves against the freezing cold.
We were still kind of hopeful. Most survival experts would say, chances are better that they'll find you if you stay where you initially were. So we decided to stay with the truck.
After 2 freezing nights in the truck, what little food they have has almost gone.
Good boy.
Clayton was breastfeeding still, and we were just introducing solids into his diet. The little bits of baby food that we had left, we tried to ration to him in conjunction with breastfeeding as best we could.
You want some fruitcake? You should eat, you know.
We should have brought some real food.
We had crumbs of this bag of chips and a fruitcake, which Jennifer didn't eat. She didn't like it and didn't want it. So I ate that. And that was all we had as far as food goes.
Jim's grandmother's funeral takes place as scheduled. Where Jim, Jennifer, and baby Clayton are now is anyone's guess.
We left my sister's house, left a note on the door for Jim and Jennifer just in case they would show up, hoping that they would make it there.
By the 4th day, Jim, Jennifer, and Clayton are out of food, and there's no sign of rescue.
It's okay.
We needed to go. Nobody's coming. We're alone. We're gonna have to do something to get Clayton and ourselves out of there.
We should see sunny spells all across western Nevada.
We had heard on the radio that the weather was supposed to clear up and get better on Saturday.
We can't just sit here and starve. And if the weather's gonna break, then we could walk. We could make it to the highway.
How far do you think, Jim?
Well, there can't be anything for 50 miles back the way we came. But if we go this way, to the I-140, it's, I don't know, 20 miles? We could be there by nightfall.
Okay. At least we'll be together, right?
That's all that matters.
The consequences of leaving the truck could be fatal.
We should maybe write something. Just a note to whoever might, you know, just in case.
We wrote a will, you know, as a last kind of goodbye.
Mostly just apologies, really. Like, just really, you know, we loved each other, and if that was what was going to happen, at least we were all together for it.
If you are reading this, then we must be dead. Don't be sad. We tried our best to make it, but God must have wanted or needed us sooner than we thought. Please cremate my body and bury Jim in the Forest Hills Cemetery by his grandfather.
And Clay?
Sandy, be sure and get on to Dick at NBC.
After returning home from Idaho, Jim's parents have had enough. His stepfather works in television. He gets his co-workers involved and launches a round-the-clock rescue effort out of the house. Who wouldn't help? It's the Christmas holidays, and a family has gone missing.
It was just a very busy kind of time for everyone. Being in trouble on your own is one thing as an adult, but to have a very little 5-month-old baby is another story altogether.
After 5 days of waiting to be rescued, Jim and Jennifer are hungry, cold, and scared for their kid. They can't sit there any longer. But what they decide to do next is incredibly risky.
We knew our shoes weren't waterproof, so we each put on some pantyhose, a couple of layers of socks, and we took the plastic from the dry cleaner bags that some of the clothes were in to hopefully keep out the moisture.
We're not prepared at all for these conditions. We had dress clothes to attend a funeral, tennis shoes, and comfortable clothes. Clayton had a little sleeping bag of his own that we nestled him in, and then used the adult sleeping bag kind of as a cushion and put him inside this garment bag to keep him sealed up from the cold and the wind.
It's gonna get a little cold. Mommy and Daddy are right here, so if you need anything, you just say, okay? Good boy.
I was a little worried that he might freak out being in the dark and everything, but that kid was, I don't know, it's like he just knew. He just really knew what was happening. He was just really calm and okay with it.
Leaving their only shelter is a calculated risk, and soon they are at the mercy of the conditions.
Within a couple of hours, our feet were numb already. Our mouths were tired and cold because we would be chewing on a mouthful of snow, trying to suck it and melt it and drink the water from it.
The effects of dehydration from lack of enough water is taking hold of their bodies. With every hour that passes, their bodies get weaker and weaker. Just grabbing mouthfuls of snow like this will never give their bodies enough water.
Almost as soon as your mouth was empty, you're already reaching for the ground for more.
All right?
One more minute. My hips.
We never really had to stop because of Clayton. Mostly Jim would have to stop for me. My hips were really sore. It was hard walking in the snow.
Okay, little man.
I wanted to get to help. But I also had to keep in mind that Jennifer was lagging behind and was weakening by the hour. So I had that on my mind, and dragging Clayton behind me was tiring me out.
After trudging through snow and ice for over 12 hours, Jim and Jennifer reach the bottom of a large hill. Jim believes they're close to a major road.
I was just over the hill now. Okay.
We were so sure this highway we were looking for must be just beyond. At the very least, from the top of this hill, we'd be able to see.
The map says that the road is over here, so it was sort of a boost for us to keep going because we just knew we were getting close. It's just taking us really long to get there. The road that we were looking for was not here. We were heading in the wrong direction.